All right, guys. So in this section, I will be sharing with you a website where you can actually download all the different images for for Linux. We have Rocky Linux, CentOS, we have Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint, Fedora. You can actually download any of those images. Let's set, for example, that you want to download the Rocky Linux 9. You go there and depending if you have a VirtualBox or VMware, you can download the image with the minimal installation or with the full graphical installation. You can also go there and I think there is an image for Alma Linux as well. So let me just go back there to the previous one. I had it there. If you go here, I will share with you this website where you can actually download any image. And the one for Alma Linux is there. So that's basically what I did because I am using another computer today, and I will show you the installation that I have in VirtualBox, how I created the installation, and how I was able to connect remotely to those virtual machines. So let's go with it. Let's just go to the VirtualBox. And the way that you do it is you add the virtual machine here. You click in add and you look for this one. I already created a folder and I downloaded the files and add them here. How do you get there? Well, basically the way to get there is like this. You go to your equipment, you go to the C drive, you go to users, you go to the CSRM, to the folder of the user, and there is a folder called VirtualBox Machines. Here, you are going to create the folders, one for Alma Linux and one for Rocky Linux. You will download the images and you will pull those images into VirtualBox. So that's what we are going to do right now. In the machine, you're going to click in add and you're going to go to add those. So let me see if I can add the virtual machine for Alma Linux right now. And I need to add the other one for the Rocky Linux. Now, what I want to do is show you the configuration that I have. Hopefully it was saved there because I deleted this to show you how I was going to pull those images. In the network area, it is actually not there any longer. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. In the network area, I added a rule called SSH. It's in the forwarding. There is an option called forwarding. Let me just cancel this so you can see it. This is called forwarding, and you will click on it and click on SSH. Change the name to SSH. Then you will choose port 22 here and port 2222 in the first machine. And you will save it there. In the second machine, you're going to choose the configuration, also the forward option, and you will do the same. Change the name to SSH. This one will be 2222, 2221 for this one. We want to have one with the 21 port and the other one with the 22 port. If you go here, I want to just double check the configuration that I have for the Alma Linux and the Rocky Linux virtual machine. So I have 2222 for Alma Linux, and the IP address of the remote location will be 127.0.0.1. And is the name of Alma Linux on this one, and the other one is called Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux for this one. It's the same IP address, the loopback IP address 127.0.0.1, and the port is 2221. So let's do the testing to see if they work. I was doing the testing yesterday and they work perfectly. So I want to just double check today to see if the virtual machine works. I'm going to stop sharing the video for a moment so we can focus in this virtual machine for now. Hopefully everything will work smoothly and we will be able to connect remotely to the machine. In a perfect world, we can actually run two machines at the same time. Shouldn't be a problem. So you can connect to those two machines, one with the Rocky and one with the Alma Linux. So let's see if the remote connection is working. Let's do some testing here. I'm going to test the Alma Linux connection. And it's not working for some reason. I might have to double check the virtual machine. Maybe I am using the incorrect one. Okay, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to power off those virtual machines. And I'm going to do something different. Because yesterday I configured those correctly, but today I remove and delete those to show you guys how to add them. I'm going to delete them again. I'm going to add the other one because maybe I'm not selecting the correct one. The Alma Linux, I'm going to select the first one. The first one, I don't know, it has two images different. That's strange. I'm just going to supreme this one and leave this one, the original one. And I'm going to do the same with the other one, with the Rocky one. Supreme this one and leave the original one. I'm going to check the configuration once again. But if it doesn't work, I might have to okay, this is the correct one. This is the one that will be working. So you have to download some packages. I will let you know which packages you have to download in case the virtual machines are not working. In a few minutes, I'll show you which packages you need to download. So right now, I added the same configuration that I showed you before in those two virtual machines, and I will be able to connect remotely, hopefully, the next few minutes. So once I am able to connect remotely, I will show you what are the packages that you need to install in order to successfully have the SSH connection and which commands you need to run. It's taking a little bit of time. Let's just be patient. There you go. Let me just do the R here. And there you are. I should be in the virtual machine in a few minutes. Let me just check some configurations because maybe there is I can see the Rocky Linux is working fine, but I don't know what is going on with the Alma Linux. Oh, it is still loading. So it is still taking some time to load. So let's start working the Rocky Linux for now. We will check in the Alma Linux later. So you have to run the sudo system ctl status sshd. This is the service that you need to have running. With the Q, you can leave there and exit. And now this is the package. You have to type sudo dnf install ssh open ssh dash server and then enter. It will take a few minutes. Looks like we already have this one installed, so no worries about it. But this is the package. Sudo space dnf space install space open ssh dash server. Once you have that package installed, you should be able to connect remotely, hopefully. If you encounter any problems, remember you can use GTP chat or Bing chat or some artificial intelligence to show you the step-by-step guide and create your own step-by-step guide in how to fix that specific problem, that specific issue. That's the way I do it, and 99% of the time it works. 99% of the time. So there's a problem with the connection in the Alma Linux. I'm going to see if I have remote access right now. If not, I will check the connection. Looks like I have remote access now. Great. So I am connecting with VirtualBox to the Rocky Linux and the Alma Linux. The password is very, very simple. It's basically the name. And this one is the Alma Linux and the other one is the Rocky Linux. So it's pretty much that for the password. That is basically everything I have to show you today, guys. There is a last thing that I almost forget. Sometimes you have to edit a file, the etc file, sudo nano etc, and then the ssh, and then the ssh under sshd underscore config. Sometimes you have to do some changes here, like for example, right now we don't really need it and we have remote connection, but sometimes you have to enable the port 22, enable the permit password option, and I think that's pretty much it. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to save any changes. No, we don't want to save changes, but that's something that you have to do sometimes in VirtualBox, sometimes in VMware, you have the access. I almost forgot. I almost forgot something important. You have to start the services because sometimes after you install the OpenSSH server, you have to make sure the services are up and running. So systemctl, sudo systemctl status. If you check it is actually down with the Q, you can exit there. You have to enable the service. So you click in enable and enable the service. Then you have to start the service. Start the service. It is called SSHD. And then at the end, you have to check the status. Once you see everything is enabled and up and running, you should be able to get connection from your virtual machines to the Movax term that I showed you guys previously how to install. So that's pretty much everything for today's lesson. I hope that you have learned a lot. I will share the link where you can actually download the pre-configured images for the Alban Linux and the Rocky Linux operating systems. That is everything for today, boys and girls. Take care, have an amazing week, and I see you around. Goodbye.